session we are going to discuss about public speaking and the very big question that why public speaking? Because you are not supposed to become a leader. कोई नेता तो बनना नहीं है जो स्टेज पे खड़े के बात करना है. So I just wanted to understand what do you think that why this public speaking is there in training and placement session for you? Do you think that is there any relevancy to it to organize this session? So that is why this is the objective of today's session, to make you understand that what are the skills, how we can really be an influential person if you are going for any project. For I mean, it may start from getting selected to getting hired for a job, getting selected in a company interview, to influencing other in terms of getting your target when it is being given to you by the company. हो सकता है आपको कोई सामान बेचना हो, कुछ भी करना हो, कोई टारगेट अचीव करना हो, सर्विस सेल करनी हो, नहीं, तो आपको ये स्किल्स के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. So this is the objective of today's session. With very immense pleasure, I may introduce the speaker for today's session, Mr. Sunil Duaa. Please, sir. Associated with Time Education. And I must tell that Sunil Duaa ji, I think जब से मैं टेक्निया में तब से मैं लगातार इनसे साल में एक आध सेशन तो उनके साथ हो ही जाता है. A very profound experienced person and lots of knowledge, lots of takeaways which you can take from him. बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं. We should have that approach and attitude to learn.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a session from Time Education. I am from Time Education. I hope you all have heard of Time. We are an institute that helps you crack various examinations for various competitions that you will face. We specialize in some courses like MBA, or if you want a job, for example, if you want to work in the government sector, we also help you crack those examinations. We also help students who are looking for admission into various colleges soon after they finish their class 12th. So we are associated with students like you right from class 10th or 11th onwards. So today we are going to talk about public speaking. So first of all, I want to know how many of you have been involved in public speaking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all. So there are some rules and regulations, some do's and don'ts when we have to do public speaking in a formal manner, in front of a particular audience, when we have to speak about a particular topic. Then I think public speaking is very important. And will you ever face this kind of a situation where you'll have to do some public speaking? Do you think आपकी लाइफ में कभी आएगी public speaking? Yes. कब आएगी? When do you think? In your job. You did not have any opportunity for public speaking in school? You had to go on the stage, speak to the students, speak to the chief guests, speak to the teachers and principal. You also get these opportunities in college. I don't know how many of you are actually very active in public speaking in college, but this is the right time to begin your public speaking. Please don't think that public speaking will only be done when you grow up in your professional world. It is something that is required always. So, please do not wait for any particular day to come, any particular opportunity to come, any particular stage of life to come. You should be ready for public speaking even today. And therefore, start working on how do you want to begin your life as a speaker in the public. Lot of times, in fact, when you were in school, there is a lot of hesitation among students to go on the stage. How many of you have gone on the stage in school? All right, that's a very big number. Because a lot of people feel shy, scared, going on the stage in school, And a lot of people, when they reach college, then they tend to become better at going on the stage. The stage fright is reduced automatically when you reach college. It is because of your own attaining of maturity, because you become matured. So around 17, 18, 19 years of age, that is the time when this fear of stage gets reduced. But those who still have this fear, they should get rid of this fear as soon as possible, because this is the right time. Maybe when you try to get rid of this fear after about 5-6 years, it will become more difficult. So try to get rid of this fear as soon as possible, because this is the right time. 17, 18, 19 years of age is the right time for getting rid of your stage fear. So that's very important. The first thing that you have to get rid of is stage fear. Do not think that people who are sitting in front of you are more learned than you, are more knowledgeable than you, and how will I be able to speak in front of so many people? Assume nobody is sitting there, don't worry. And I will discuss some more points also, how you can get rid of your stage fear and how can you become a good speaker in public. Now, before I actually get into how to do this or what are the do's and don'ts, let us try to understand what is public speaking. Public speaking is when you are giving some kind of lecture or some kind of talk on a particular topic, and we are doing it in front of a specific audience. That would be public speaking. Like what the slide shows to you, it is the process of speaking to a group of people in a formal or a structured manner, and you're supposed to deliver some knowledge, some information through this speaking. And the purpose could be simply to inform. The purpose could also be to make an impact on the audience, to influence them, and it can also be to entertain the audience. So various purposes of public speaking, various reasons for public speaking, and therefore any of these reasons can lead you to speak in public. So it's very important that what we are going to say and how do we say that, that is very, very important. I'm sure you all know when you need public speaking, in fact, you don't have to wait for any time to come. Your public speaking requirement has begun already. Have you done any project presentations in college? Yes. So there also your speaking skills are very important. You prepare a slide, you prepare the knowledge, you prepare for whatever project you are going to speak on. But if your commentary is not good, the audience is going to lose interest in your project delivery, and therefore you may not be appreciated as much you would have been appreciated if you had a good commentary. So the first area that you would face public speaking is when you are making some kind of a project presentation. We also face public speaking when we go for some interviews. There is a panel of judges, interviewers, and they ask us various questions, and if we don't answer the questions properly, or if we show any signs of nervousness, let's say we have a lot of knowledge, but we are showing some signs of nervousness, then also we are likely to face a problem during our interviews. So interviews is also another area where you may be required to do some public speaking. Lot of times companies come to various institutions, colleges to pick their candidates. So there is a recruitment program that happens towards the end of your college life, somewhere around the final year of your college life. And through this recruitment process, they ask you to sit for a GD. a group discussion. Here again, your public speaking skills are tested, and therefore, if you're not able to do the GD properly, then again you may face a problem in getting a job also. Group discussions are also held for internships. When you go for internships, if there are a lot of people going to some well-known company, then also you may be asked to sit for a group discussion. And if you don't do well in your group discussion, you won't be shortlisted. So, public speaking is also important when we go for some kind of internships, and therefore it begins much before our professional life begins. We also have some competitions. We have our fest, annual fest in the colleges also. And during these fests, they have various programs. Extempore is one of them, where you're asked to speak on a topic for about 2 minutes. And the topic is given to you just a minute or 2 minutes before you begin to speak. So, very important, if I don't have my good public speaking skills, I will not be able to take part in an extempore also. So this again will require your public speaking skills. Sometimes there is a lot of interaction among college students, among various other colleges, among some international institutions, and therefore this networking will also require public speaking skills. I am told that you people do belong to a background where you are working for a professional life which involves a lot of public speaking. Many of you are involved with mass media, and you want to get into the field of mass media. Therefore, it becomes very important for you to do your public speaking skills, sharpen your public speaking skills. And of course, meetings and seminars will continue throughout your life, not only in your professional life, but also in your personal life, private life. You will be participating in many meetings, and therefore a good speaker will always stand out among the crowd. So public speaking skills is a very, very important part of everyone's life, and therefore being a good speaker is certainly a big, big asset. We see that even in the political world, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, though he had a very strong backing of the family, and he could have easily become a very prominent person of the country, probably the Prime Minister also, but his poor public speaking skills have made him feel, a failure many times. So, even if you have all the knowledge and if you have all the support, good public speaking skills can sometimes ruin a person's life. So, we must understand this. And the same if we see the person opposite to Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Modi, he's reached where he's reached only because of his public speaking skills. He doesn't have any natural, assistance from his family or any strong background, but he's still been able to achieve what he has achieved simply because he has very good public speaking skills. So this is what public speaking skills can do to a person. So it's very important that we make sure that we are good at it. Now, what you have to initially begin with is to become prepared, to be ready, to accept that you're going to become a good public speaker, so that you can overcome all the shyness and all the hesitation that you have. So the first thing is that you have to make sure that I'm going to become a good public speaker. I may not become the best public speaker, but I should be a confident and a reasonably good public speaker. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind, that you promise yourself that I'm going to do good at public speaking. And once you overcome your hesitation and shyness, you will definitely become a good speaker. There are 4 things to public speaking. If you're supposed to address an audience, there are 4 things that you have to keep in mind. Number 1 is, what is the situation? What are you supposed to speak on? What is the kind of situation that is given to you? That is very important. So realize the situation. Find out what is the reason for delivering this lecture. Like, I'm here to, help you or inform you about public speaking. So the purpose of the public speaking event should be very clearly known. We should also try to understand that what is the kind of system that we are going to address, or the kind of environment that we are going to address, what is the occasion. It could be a fest, as I said, in colleges we have fest also. It could be an annual day of a college. It could be some celebration of a college, or it could simply be an educational seminar. So I should know what is the purpose of this talk. I should also know the audience. Very important. If I don't know the audience, I'll not be able to deliver the right content. How is audience important here now? If I were to go to a school, let's say I'm going to a school where students of class 9th or 10th are sitting. And if I'm going to a college where students of first year or second year are sitting, should my pitch change a little? Should I have a different pitch? Yes. I cannot speak of many things, to a small junior group, but which I can do to maybe a senior group. So I must understand my audience. I must also understand the requirement of my audience. And therefore, knowing the audience is very, very important. The purpose, what is the purpose, and also what kind of audience I have. Similarly, if I was delivering this in a company, some board meeting of a company, and I am trying to help the main executives of the company, my pitch is going to be still different from what I am going to have here. So please understand what is the audience, what are their needs, what really they require from you, and if you are able to deliver that, I'm sure things will move in the right direction. A lot depends on you also. If you're not going to make an impact on the audience, then you are not going to be a good speaker. So it is also very important that as a speaker, I should be able to deliver what I'm supposed to deliver. Here I would also add that having knowledge of the topic is most important. Apart from the skills of a speaker, if you don't have the knowledge of the subject that you are speaking on, you will face a lot of problems. So, very important, you should have a lot of knowledge, because in these kind of sessions, we also have some question answers that happen afterwards. And if the speaker is not able to answer the questions, or has only done his homework to the extent of what he is delivering, then again the speaker will face problem. So it is also very important for the speaker to have thorough knowledge, much more knowledge than what he is delivering, so that he can handle any kind of questions or any kind of doubts presented by the audience. And finally, of course, what also is required to have a good presentation. If you don't have a good presentation, if you don't have your slides in order, if you don't have the content in order, again there would be a problem. So these are the 4 important things that we require to be able to make a good public speaking presentation. It is not that anybody or everybody is a born speaker and only those people can speak who are very good at it from birth. As I said, lot of people develop these speaking skills only after they attain the age of 18, 19 years of age. Therefore, nobody is a born speaker. It all comes through practice. So practicing is very, very important. First thing is that you should have a lot of knowledge, and the second thing is should you should kill your hesitation or shyness, and then keep practicing. When you keep practicing, you will automatically become better. So practice is the key here. And how do we practice? We can sit in front of our family at the dining table, and you can practice there. You can also practice in front of a mirror and look into the eyes of your image and start practicing whatever you have to deliver. You can also invite a friend and let him be the audience. Look into his eyes and start talking. That will also help you in practicing. So you may have audience, you may have a mirror, you may have your family sitting there, and then of course you may also arrange a larger group. You can ask your college friends sitting in the canteen, you start delivering something. But do this practice. This practice is very, very important. You may also record now, because it's so easy to record now. So you may record and then probably see where you are going wrong, what are the problems that you are encountering, and once you look at the recording and review it, you can automatically improve yourself by knowing where you are faltering. So the various ways of practicing, we must practice this. This is also very, very important. We see a lot of programs, TV programs, and certain talk shows and some live shows. We see a person, whoever is the anchor or carrying on the show, he has a group of cards with him, a set of sheets of paper with him, and he's got his notes over there. It's very important to make these notes. Don't think that people will not appreciate you if you have your notes. So have these notes, but these small chits of paper, they should be only having some points. Please do not write long sentences. When you have long sentences and you're looking into the paper, then you're not looking at the audience, and you cannot afford to stop looking at the audience. So constantly you have to look at the audience. When you have a chit of paper and you have a note written there, you just take a glance and continue with what you are speaking. So these notes of paper, these index cards as they are called, are also very, very important. And in the beginning, when you are making some kind of a specialized topic, when you're doing a talk on a specialized topic, these cue cards will help you a lot. So use these index cards, make points, do not write sentences, they will help you a lot. Now, how to kill nervousness, how to kill shyness, very important. When you are asked to come to the stage, take 1 or 2 deep breaths. And if you think you're going to feel thirsty, then make sure that you have water around you, or you take a sip of water. Don't drink too much water. Take a sip of water before you come to the stage. And do take 1 or 2 deep breaths before you begin your talk. This would help you feel a little relaxed, feel a little comfortable, because sometimes when we reach the stage and within 2 or 3 minutes our mouth becomes a little dry, and therefore our attention is now towards that rather than on what we are speaking. So having a sip of water, taking a few deep breaths will definitely help you begin your talk in the right manner. When you look at the audience, which you have to keep looking, never look at the ceiling or on the floor. You're supposed to look at the audience. So make sure that you're looking at the eyes of the audience. So you have to share your vision with the eyes. You don't have to look at their foreheads, you have to look into their eyes. This will make you more comfortable. Sometimes, when we look into the eyes of the audience, we come to know that they are appreciating us. How do we come to know that they are appreciating us? How can the audience help us know that they are appreciating us? By looking into their eyes. How can we come to know? कैसे पता लगेगा that we are being appreciated? Okay, interaction with the speaker. That is only when, I ask a question or they have a doubt. Then interaction will take place. But how do I come to know that a particular member of the audience is appreciative of what I said? Somebody may be looking into my eyes but still not, paying attention. Facial expression. Which are those? Which are those facial expressions that you should look for? Smile. If the topic is very serious, then I may not expect smiles also. A nod of the head. A slight nod of the head will confirm that I am being received. So look for these nods of the head. Therefore, look into the eyes of your audience. And once you look into the eyes of your audience, your confidence grows. It sometimes so happens that you are speaking and a member of the audience is busy looking at his or her phone. The moment you look at that person, the person tends to pay more attention to you. The eye contact will help you get more attention from the members of the audience. So do this practice of speaking to the audience with your eyes focused in their eyes. That is the right way of speaking. Even when you communicate with your friends, when there is no public speaking, even then look into their eyes, you will get more attention. When you don't look into their eyes, you don't get 100% attention. So very important, whenever we speak, try to look into their eyes and make sure that you are getting full attention from them. And of course, the last sentence says it all. All is well, all is well. So if you say this 3 times to yourself, everything is going to go all right. You're not supposed to feel unduly worried about your performance. Your presentation, how to make your presentation, because nowadays without a visual you cannot make a good presentation. So how to make a good presentation? Begin with the introduction of the topic. Give them a few examples of the topic. And then you start elaborating on what you're supposed to speak. And finally, of course, you have your conclusion. So try to develop a slideshow that can have the introduction, the main body, and also the conclusion. It's also very important to be yourself. Don't try to feel stiff. Don't stiffen your body too much. Feel relaxed. Feel as if you're talking to them in a very casual manner, but at the same time be formal. So feel relaxed. Don't feel stiff in the body. Relax your body. Have a small smile on your face so that you give a welcome look to your audience. You're not supposed to be completely serious. A small smile at the beginning, greeting them, introducing yourself, will definitely tell them that you are here to share some knowledge. You're not here to force your knowledge on them. So, if you follow these instructions, I think you should not have much problem interacting with your audience, getting friendly with your audience, getting approached by your audience. So, these things will definitely help. Your written matter or your slideshow should have everything in a logical order so that the order is not in the wrong manner and you are delivering it step by step. So this is also a very important part of this. Modulation of voice also very important. When you don't modulate your voice, it becomes a little boring. So you have to make sure that you are increasing the pitch, reducing the pitch whenever required. And sometimes you also have to repeat a few things to bring more clarity or to emphasize. And sometimes you have to lower your pitch also to say something very important. So lowering the pitch is also required to say something very important. This you will gradually learn when you do some of your presentations, and I'm sure you'll be able to do this. So, one more important thing here is your voice, because voice we believe is all God gifted, and therefore we cannot change our voice. It is not so. You can train your voice. You can manage to improve your voice. You need a lot of practice to do it. We know singers have beautiful voices. It's not that any one of us cannot become a singer. We could have if we had also trained our voices. So, very important, you train your voice in such. Now, you don't have to have a very musical voice to become a good speaker. That may be required for a singer. But for a speaker, your voice can also be trained. And sometimes when you practice a little, you can change your voices also to an extent. So do try to focus on your voice. Make sure that you have the right voice to speak. Do not speak things too fast. Even if let's say there is a speech that you have to give and you know the speech by heart, it should never look as if you are speaking by heart. It should always look that you are thinking and speaking. When you give this impression that you are thinking and speaking, the audience is more receptive. They will receive you better. So this is also very important. Does body language also speak? Does our body speak? Yes, it does. So make sure you have a very positive body language. The purpose is to be heard. The purpose is not to speak here. The purpose is to be heard. So if you don't have the right body language, again you will face some problem. So use your hands, use your facial expressions to be able to communicate with the audience as much as possible. Because all these gestures also help. It is just not the words that are going to help. It is also the gestures. So this is also very important. And finally, of course, thank your audience for the attention that they've given to you. Make sure that you thank them so that they also feel that you are happy about whatever the outcome is. So these are some essentials for you when you prepare a speech or when you prepare yourself for some kind of a public speaking. Some people are noting them down. You may click a picture if you can reach the. So wherever required, use a mic. Make sure that you are audible to everybody. And also practice as much as possible. I think practice will also eliminate a lot of, problems in your speech. So a lot of practice is required before you go for the final talk. And this practice will help you improve a lot. Should you memorize your script? The answer is yes, but it is not essential. Please do not force yourself to memorize, because what happens is when you memorize something, then it comes, it comes in a very fast manner. So even if you memorize a bit, it's okay. You don't have to look at the paper also so much. So it's somewhere between fully memorized and not and half of it. So you should be able to speak to the audience as much as possible. Look at the audience as much as possible. But if you have to look at the script for, a few moments, it's absolutely all right. It is absolutely normal. These are some more tips for you. Do not have very, very long sentences that you confuse yourself also what you are saying. Don't make your notes in such a manner that you're not able to read yourself. So make some points. Those index cards that you have, they should not look very cluttered. And also your own, how you stand and how you behave is also very, very important. So these are some reasons for not having an effective speech. One could be when you're not able to motivate or inform properly. So one reason why people may not appreciate your speech. The second reason could be when the speaker himself is confused and saying maybe opposite things and not very clear about what he wants to say. So that can also create mistrust in the audience. Getting into very, very minute details is also not very good. And of course, if your slideshow is not good, then also the people may lose interest. Now, these are some questions that, you may ask. Are you supposed to introduce yourself? The answer is yes. I introduced myself and I also introduced the company that I'm representing for maybe 15 seconds. I did that. When I have to speak for 1 hour, then that introduction for 15, 20 seconds is absolutely all right. If I have to speak for 5 minutes, I don't need such a long introduction. I can simply start with a very, very brief introduction. And therefore, that is how we go, depending on the length of time that we have to speak. Should I be the first one to start the discussion? Well, if there are many speakers and you are the first one, it is advantageous. So it is of great advantage if you get this opportunity to speak first, because the audience is fresh. The audience is ready to receive the first few speakers without any difficulty. So you have a good opportunity if you come first. So I will not go through this. All right. Now I would come to any kind of question that you want to be answered. I hope you people practice your speaking skills in the right manner and also practice a lot on this. And I also wish that some of you may become some of the best speakers that we would have in near future. Thank you, all of you, and goodbye. All the best.